Welcome back to Dang Plays So Online Lost Song.
I just made a really big mistake.
You did?
So my girlfriend was over yesterday, right? And
Okay.
so she was by the end of the night. Long story short, she was too drunk to go home on her own. So I had to come pick her up. So her car was here. She came to pick her up. Okay, I'll leave like a gift outside for her so she can take it home with her. So I had like a bottle of avocado oil I haven't opened yet. So I'm like, oh, that would make a nice gift.
Yeah. Was it not there?
No. Right now, I just remembered she's allergic to avocados.
Oh.
Bad.
How did,
But she hasn't consumed it because obviously she knows she's allergic to avocados.
Okay. So at least she knows.
Yeah, I just feel bad giving her a gift she can't really use. My bad.
Oh. No, it's okay. It's okay, Dave. It's the thought that counts. Not essentially the thought that it could have been something else.
Yeah. But whatever, we're fighting. I swear to God, we fought this exact same boss at some point.
Yep. No, you're right. We have seen this one before.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep slinging ice magic at it. This boss battle's gonna take all 30 minutes, but straight fuck it.
Just raw, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been thinking, just from after our previous episode, that maybe for games like this, these games that we don't necessarily enjoy, but hell, we're gonna finish this because we said we were going to do it, and it's feasible. But maybe just find some time just to, I guess, kind of cool our jets and get ourselves in a better mindset.
Make it like a podcast.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I was never against that, and I think at some point we thought about just doing something like that, but more not necessarily a podcast, but just I guess mend the rigid attitude that we have against this game. I mean, it's never gonna change.
No, it's not.
But just we don't always have to stay like that, in between recordings and whatnot.
Make the episodes just grow stale at this point.
So with each new episode, we kind of have a little bit more energy back in us. So we can spend it in the following episode afterward.
Pretty much.
For example, I just showed you one of the support conversations, and just kind of listening in on that and just kind of really thinking about that as it kind of affects real life. Actually, it just felt nice to just see that in a game, in contrast to what we're seeing right now.
I know, right? This moment of actual real dialogues where people compromise on things, I just believe this, and I understand your position, and I still respect it, and I can see why I can apply it to mine, but I still maintain this. I'm just going, all right, well, I see your position, I still maintain my position, but I can still respect you. And I'm like, wow, that's good. Good on you for not just making black white, things are evil, things are good. Good job, Fire Emblem. Even though most other parts, most other game design choices you made in that game are just nonsensical, you at least got dialogue, right?
Yeah. We'll see in the next Fire Emblem game when they're making something brand new, or at least we hope they're making something brand new, and it isn't Warriors.
Yeah. Speaking of which, fuck the Nintendo Direct for E3. It's oh, new Fire Emblem news, right? New Fire Emblem news? No, it's just Heroes. Oh, good. I'm not vested in this whatsoever as someone who enjoys Fire Emblem, because it's just Hyrule Warriors, which was just Dynasty Warriors, but now there's Fire Emblem characters and some OG ones that look like bad Deviant Artoses. I'm sure it'll be a fun game. Hyrule Warriors was fun. Dynasty Warriors was fun, but I want a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Advance Wars.
Yeah, in an Advance Wars game too. First of all, you gotta understand Fire Emblem Advance Wars, similar concept, completely different in execution. I think Advance Wars is a bit more tactically complex, or there are more micro decisions you have to make in Advance Wars to make strategy work. Fire Emblem, I think, is just kind of a simplified version of that.
Ah, okay.
But they both have like their merits, and I think they're both like they're just both good games, and I still go back and just play.
I wish I
Advance
can go
Wars,
back and
Dual Strike.
I wish I can go back and actually play the Advanced Warfare games or the Advanced Wars. But hey, all right, calm down here, Joe. We don't need.
They're almost all of them are on Virtual Console now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I also know that there's a new game that's gonna play like Fire Emblem Advance Wars that's coming out for the Switch.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but yeah, there's that I'm kind of looking forward to, or at least keep my eye on. What was another thing? Oh yeah, kind of exploring more of the Xbox Game Pass. Gabe came across XCOM, and I got to see a little bit of the gameplay of that. It looks really interesting. I can understand why a lot of people reference that when they see the Mario and Rabbids crossover game.
Yeah, which like, why does that need to exist? Can we just have like another Mario
Party? And they wanted to try something else. I'm not really sure about like the true motives behind it, but it's kind of cool just how like Miyamoto just kind of like let the green light for that one.
So they thought they would just incorporate, in Alfred's words, the video game equivalent to Minions.
I guess. Well, I mean, like the Minion. Oh, sorry, not the Minions. The Rabbids.
See, they're the same thing.
We haven't seen a lot of spotlight from the Rabbids ever since like Rayman, like that
Rayman
one,
Rabbids.
like in that one like Rabbids only game.
The one fucking Rayman game and nobody wanted, nobody asked for.
Yeah. I feel bad for Rayman right now.
Also, obligatory just fuck Ubisoft.
Oh yeah?
Permeating their way through Nintendo. And it's just me or just like Mario Odyssey look like just the weirdest nonsensical mashup.
How so?
It
In
like
obvious.
the look, like the overworld reminds me way too much of Sonic Adventure. And I'm like, that's not a good thing. Like, the contrast between cartoon ass Mario and real ass looking other motherfuckers. It's just like,
I don't know. It's something that actually didn't bother me. Well, I mean, like the adventure thing was like, oh, this seems a little bit. But actually, like watching the gameplay and just seeing how like it seems different in its sense.
the
I guess-
gameplay is just Kirby.
Yeah, like a 3D Kirby type of deal.
Yeah, because I mean, you're like using your hat to like basically become other people, like get their powers. It's Kirby.
I guess so. But I guess they kind of altered that as well because like with Kirby, like his copy abilities, he could still move like as like physically as Kirby, whereas like with Mario, your physics is like centered around like I guess the just the people you decide to capture. So there's limitations to like what you can do.
So it's Mind Jack with Mario.
I don't actually know about Mind Jack.
It was a game that revolved around like controlling other people to complete missions.
Huh, okay. Actually, okay, and like when you play it that way, seems like something that's definitely been used before, just not in a Mario game, and they decided to do it as such, and just to test the waters and whatnot.
Also, one of the game mechanics, just one game mechanic in Dishonored.
Right.
So now they're just making an entire game around that concept
Yeah.
again.
And the whole idea is just like to get from point A to point B using the new character abilities of these captured enemies.
Yeah. So sorry everyone out there that I'm just salty all the time. Actually, I'm not really sorry. Like,
I'm not.
if you think I should just like give in to the hype and like, oh, why can't you just enjoy things? Well, fuck you for like, well, not fuck you, but like, I hate just the mentality of why can't you just accept it and have fun. So I'm just like, well, why can't people just make better things?
Yeah,
People get paid to make these. And at that, why can't we just like what E3 was, especially this year, what E3 always has been, was just like, you know, it's a marketing gimmick, right? It's like a game's marketing event. And I guess I just hate the fact that the video games industry itself is exactly that. You know, it's an industry. One that's almost exclusively a sphere for like creating products for entertainment more than creating art. Actually using the game's medium to create something that's both meaningful and entertaining. And it just sucks that, obviously there are like indie games out there, and there are developers that do still, carry that mindset of games should be art. Games should be something to be enjoyed, but also something to, actually enrich people's lives. Problem is that even the indie games market is so saturated by people trying to make a quick buck, or people abusing Steam Greenlight to the point where we get even less of that than we do with like the films industry. Anyway, sorry, that was my rant, but that's just how we feel. Damn it.
In my regards to Mario Odyssey, I do understand where you're coming from, especially when you think about like, oh, this is. I mean, like, it's borrowing other things from other games, but also that it's also a 3D Mario game.
Yeah,
I'm sure familiar with.
Instead it'll be good. Like, I'm sure it'll like build on top of that mechanic and refine it. It's just, I'm so jaded.
Yeah, maybe I'm not as jaded as you, as I am actually like really excited about this new Mario game than other previous ones before. Because even like Mario Galaxy, when Galaxy 2 came out, I was like, oh, that's cool, but it's the same thing, right? But now here comes a new Mario game that looks kind of plays differently from the other Mario games, and not just because like the whole high ability and everything, but everything just feels different in a way, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. Like they are trying, as far as Mario goes, they are trying something new, and there is something to be admired about that.
Especially how they're adding lyrics to songs now. Like, whoa, easy.
Like, the tune for Mario Odyssey is going to be stuck in my head. Although, of course, jaded me is thinking, like, Persona 5 did it first. But, I mean, I still enjoy it. Like, it's still catchy. I think it's, like, a logical procession from the score from Super Mario 3D Land.
Yeah.
Like, I love the music from Super Mario 3D Land, and I'm glad that they just like continue to go with the entire jazz motif. 'Cause I just love it.
Yeah. Oh,
God fucking shit. Ah, Jesus.
But yeah, I totally see the fact that it's you're I guess the gee, I don't know, I'm at lost for words, but like let's just say for example like Call of Duty. Ever since like Modern Warfare specifically for me, I've noticed that a lot of other like game companies are trying to mimic that, like Battlefield and stuff like that. But at a certain point, like after like the umpteenth like installment of the series, it starts to become jaded to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people. I mean, there's always going to be like new kids playing the game, but it starts to become a little stale, and you kind of wonder like. There's more of an opinion on like, oh, this is pretty much the same thing, just added with other things, or made worse, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you kind of see something different, whether it be like a remake to something, or just like, like a remake to like a previous game, or maybe just something entirely different. Although with something as simple as like a warfare game, I can't really imagine like how they can make it any different from every other game, but that could just be me being like kind of ignorant of like.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at how XCOM handled it. Like that's a game that's about warfare
that's true
has gameplay that's fundamentally different. Even to some extent, like the Red Faction games had, they just kind of really incorporated crafting and like Far Cry elements. But I think. When we approach games about war, we gotta move away from the shooter, or even like the strategy game. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but there's a World War I themed platforming game.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, that's actually really interesting. In a war that's really known for people not wanting to participate in it, in a game that's or a war that really carries the theme of nonviolence and like just how horrific war can be. A game centered around that doesn't really feature combat is a really compelling idea, and I really want to play it because I'm sure the execution worked really well too. But I think it's a theme we can also incorporate in games about modern or future warfare. The idea that, well, why can't we have this mentality of war being something that's just inherently bad, or conflict being something that we should all be trying to get away from outside of a World War I setting. It's not a theme that's specific just to that. We can keep thinking that mentality. Or maybe it's just because I'm a filthy hippie who doesn't like war.
Actually, you know what? Just thinking about like other game companies that have like really like popular set in stone like series. I'm thinking about like Rockstar Games in their Grand Theft Auto series, and how it does kind of feel like the same thing, even like with like a new like paint code or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like for example, like if we're looking at like Grand Theft Auto versus like Red Dead, they like play differently, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do we like, I guess like enhance on what we have and make something different? And then I see LA Noire, and that's actually pretty interesting. Like, I mean, it still has like the same like game mechanics as far as like
open world concept, but it's not an action oriented game.
Right. It's about like, lack of better words, detectiving, investigation. And I really like how they're going with that, especially how I can see it now, older and not so dumb when I played it.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I'm just gonna spam. I doubt your your claims, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just playing. I was watching some other people play it, and just kind of seeing like how it came to be. It feels like its own game. Like sure, like it's borrowing stuff from like other previous installments from right. Or just like its own like Grand Theft Auto with like the shooting and everything like that. It does put more focus on detective work, and that's kind of what I like about it. It's not, it doesn't take place in the courthouse, that's for sure. But yeah, I like what they do with that game. I'm kind of hoping that they try to do more stuff that's kind of like branching off from like just plain old like walking around shooting people, something about drugs.
You know, that's kind of what we thought when Minecraft came out and first became popular. Because like a lot of people speculated that maybe we can move away from action-oriented games, like games that don't have that sell very well. But then Minecraft evolved to incorporate more like action-oriented elements in the game.
That's true, yeah.
Or like, well, okay, we can throw that idea out the fucking window then. I mean, but of course there are other games that don't have combat, like Phoenix Wright, like LA Noire, that were good and they were well received, but games that were never really popular on the scale of Minecraft.
Or any other like mainstream game.
Yeah. COD, Halo.
Also a game that does have like praise for like doing something different, and people have like just talked up the butt for this, but it was Undertale actually.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, Undertale just borrowed a lot of elements from Shin Megami Tensei.
That too, yeah.
But it was still like a very like compelling RPG. It also borrowed a lot of elements from Earthbound, like the Mother series in general. But we can get past this like derivative. It at least takes the best elements of different series of RPGs, and I think more than any other game, Undertale just gives you so much choice in how you can play the game, and like what you can do. Like it gives you a lot of opportunity to explore the meta of the game. Which like I'm not saying every game needs to be Undertale, because it doesn't. But if there could be more games that take inspiration from Undertale, and like really become intimate with how game mechanics influence player behavior and player choice, or find out how to, try to maneuver players to try different things.
Yeah, okay.
That would at least be nice. Or if we could take like that artistic mentality to creating games that the creators of Undertale made, that would be a significant step in the right direction.
I think the mindset, and at least that's why I like to think, is that they want to take something like really popular about a certain like genre of games, like something as popular as like Battlefield or Modern Warfare or Call of Duty, and take the whole first-person shooter aspect and kind of just change it up to something. And the first thing that comes up to mind is actually Overwatch.
Even though that's just Team Fortress 2.
Yeah. But what's interesting is that I was actually watching the Game Grumps like do their coverage on like Overwatch, the anniversary of it. And the fact that like there's definitely that one class that has like the soldier. This is your I'm familiar with this.
Yeah.
But they also have like all these other characters that play like so differently from each other, while having that same like first person shooter type of feel to it.
Yeah. I mean that's nothing new. If anything, Overwatch is more of a revival. Back when like all first person shooters after Doom were class based shooters. Like Call of Duty, well, not necessarily Call of Duty 1, but Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3 were class-based shooters.
Oh, really? I didn't actually know about that. But
Battlefield's always been class-based shooter.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
not to like the level of specialization as games like Team Fortress 2 or Overwatch were.
But like, there's like different ways, or at least like, it's not just like running and gunning. There's like something
Yeah.
else like added to it.
But Call of Duty 4 changed all that, and we all thought Call of Duty 4 actually did, I think, change it for the better, because the entire class-based shooter thing was starting to become stale. So we have more of like one where you can customize classes so you could either be like a generalist or a specialist when you play,
Okay.
change up how you play the game. But we later found that individualistic style of multiplayer games kind of took some things away that made class-based shooters nice. So I think the direction we should be hitting, or maybe like the logical direction would be to compromise. Well, how do we make multiplayer games feel like the player has more agency and more control over how they play the game? But also, how do we facilitate teamwork in like a team-based online shooter?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a tough one. Like, the first thing that comes to mind is like, just kind of make, an open world game. It always comes to the open world game, but have all these different like jobs and class bases that the character can choose from. And then I'm just starting immediately thinking of MMOs now.
Although honestly, I think Counter-Strike probably does the best job at that. It's just Counter-Strike doesn't have a whole lot of wide-reaching appeal because it's search and destroy, where you have 2 bombs and you have like 4 to 6 players on each team. And basically, if you die that round, then you're out for the round and you're just spectating, helping your team reach the objective. Which, it's a slow style of gameplay, and it's one that requires like a lot of thought that maybe doesn't appeal to a lot of people. Even though I think it's probably about the best compromise between individuality and facilitating teamwork you could possibly reach. It's just, how do you achieve those two things while still making something that appeals to a lot of people? But we only have to answer that question because capitalism.
It's gonna be interesting to see, like, I guess what the gaming industry is going to be like several years ahead, like, in all the games that are released like after the fact. Because, all right, so like kind of focusing back on Ubisoft, specifically freaking Assassin's Creed. I'm wondering how they can branch out. Oh, actually, like, what I do like that came out of like Assassin's Creed was like the pirates, or like using the whole like ship mechanics as a pirate, and how they decided to actually use that and kind of develop that a little bit more so. And so they made like a solo pirate game that actually looks pretty interesting, especially when there's like online play about it, where you have like different like different types of ships that do like different functions, like for the entire like I guess group of your band. Something like that. So
good. Black Flag was easily their best Assassin's Creed game since the first one.
Yeah, which reminds me, I should probably go back and play that again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that new pirate game. I don't know when that's coming out, but yeah, just like picking out like good things about like older games and just kind of work on them to make something completely different. Yeah. Something that's just like kind of outside the norm, but can be something new. Kirito, you gotta stop dancing. You gotta stop dancing all night. We're still on this boss, dude.
Yeah, we are.
Spent like 20 minutes just chatting about, and I'm glad that we've been like having this long conversation that just kind of brought things out there in the wild. But man, dude.
Man, I finally made my ice bullet magic more effective than my sword.
Ice bullets. It's probably for the best.
Yeah. This is just what I use the most.
Oh, you're so close. Yeah.
Fucking fuck, dude.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jesus, my hands are all cramped up. I think I could have gone through that if we weren't like talking about something completely different.
Oh, well, I don't know.
The door opens.
Oh, okay, what do we got here?
Man, now I have to be reminded that this game exists and we're playing it.
Your first part. Clear the game. You did it. We did it. Yeah, it's great. Rain's information helped out a lot. This is the part, Rain, where you stab us in the back. It's this trade secret. Oh shit, here they come. I'm Cinnamon. Oh, you little!
Crumb! What are you doing here?
I was about to change my fate.
Oh, is this the part that we read in the synopsis where he challenges us to a duel? Are we doing that in the next episode?
Come again? Very well, valid strategy after all. Because I don't even know, what are you even talking about right now?
We're gonna lose. It's not a place to sow the seeds of discord. This is Seven's. What? We're just like this cult surrounding around a 12-year-old girl.
It really does seem like that, especially with the plot as it is.
The fuck? What is this? This is going full on Shaun of the Dead on me. We're over. I'm the only one that can like Seven.
Your name was. Oh, I'm Kirito. Nice to meet you.
It was you. Through Aloe with alarming speed. What, you don't know me from fucking Alfheim?
Or anything else?
Why isn't like Kirito a fucking superstar? Why does he live this normal ass life? Sure, cross again.
Freaking just like super happy-go-lucky Kirito here. I guess that's all he can do because it's just like there's no risk.
Yeah, it's not like there's any stakes in this game anyway.
Yeah, I'll just have fun with it.
I mean, Sumeragi, sorry, Crom taking himself way too fucking seriously. Fist to face.
Don't ever say Dr. Rainbow.
Just, you know, she's Russian. Her first name is Nanahiro, which literally is Japanese for rainbow. Why does she have a Japanese first name? Why is she 12? Why does she have a PhD? Why did we have to make like the main antagonist your lolly? Like, it's gonna have literally the same plot to every other arc of Sword Art Online. But she will be a lolly. Oh, sugoi.
Checking notes. Alright. After we're done with the cutscene, we'll end the episode.
Oh, it's even worse that she's a lolly with a fan club. And it's all dudes.
Of course. Alright, let's go. I'm ready anytime.
Alright, we finally broke the 200 mark.
Yep.
We did it, boys.
It was not too bad because, like, last time I saw you were at like 170 something, so that was jumping 30 levels. Nice.
We've progressed like 30 some levels in the past 2 hours.
I think this is a pretty positive outcome.
Sure. Oh boy, will that open Jetstream? Oh, here it is.
Is it worthy for Facebook?
I got a leg Jarns! Yes?
Yes.
It's a lantern.
I'll grab it. Oh, it's hot. Of course.
Where I'm gonna be. You got leg Jarns chest. Good.
You just told us that.
On me.
Alright, yeah, we're in the episode here. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of DangIT Plays Sword Online Lost Song. It's a relatively long episode. See you guys in the next one. Hashtag bye.
There's no escape. I don't think I have an escape or so. Yeah, also hashtag bye.